I can't lie to you guys. I literally struggled with aim assist whenever they nerfed it. I was struggling to hit shots on my old settings, and so I changed up the new settings. I'm going to show you guys what all I changed in this video and what I think are going to help bring you back that beautiful, beautiful aim assist with that nice aimbot feel. So guys, in this video, I'm going to go through all of this. Leave a like if it helps you guys out. If it gives you aimbot, I'm going to need that like right there. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, just real quick, I want to show you guys my old settings, so we'll go right through this. This was my settings before the nerf. So before the nerf, I was playing on 44, 1.7 on the build and the edit, and then a pretty high ADS of 14%. That's when aim assist was really snappy, so you could play on a higher ADS. And then my move and look stick were 8%, and actually this was 6%. 7% is my new look stick. So those were my settings right there, right here. And I'll show you guys what this feels like after the nerf. So I feel like I almost get no aim assist from medium range, and I feel like a lot of you guys have been getting this feeling too. On 14%, man, it feels like I'm not, like, tracking this is actually pretty difficult. Like, it might seem like I'm hitting my shots right now, which is true, but it just feels like fidgety. I don't know what the right word is, but like if I'm on the target and then I'm trying to go the other direction, it feels like it jumps around too much and I'm really not getting much pull to the target at all. So 14% do not work for ADS, and that's why we're gonna adjust that first. So what I did to my ADS is I experimented with all the way from 5%, or wow, I didn't even know you could go all the way down to 1%. I experimented with 5%, and then I experimented with boosts as well with ramp time. But in my opinion, ADS turning boost ramp time is not a good thing, unless there's one case where it's a good thing. So in the case where you put your ADS all the way down to like 6 or 7, and then you have a massive boost for sniping, this is the only time you're gonna want boost ramp time. If your boost is over 10%, you're going to want that boost ramp time. Otherwise, it jumps way too much and you're not going to be able to hit your shots. So I do recommend a boost ramp time of like anywhere from 0.20 if you do this. But in my opinion, that's not really the smartest way, especially in competitive Fortnite. So in my opinion, no boost ramp time. And what I did was I settled on 9% ADS. And of course, this is going to be different for everybody. So, you know, you toggle anywhere from like 7 to 10, 11%. I wouldn't go any higher or lower than that because in my experience, 9% was good enough to where I felt like I was getting consistent tracking on the target. And now it doesn't feel like aimbot in the way that it used to, but it actually feels like I'm pretty much stitched to the target. And now there's also another change though. Like, it's not just 9%, guys. That's not the solution. In my opinion, what really helped me was boosting my look stick up and my move stick up as well. You might not think move stick matters all that much, but I went to 10 and 8% on my move and my look sticks. Your dead zones do matter when it comes to aim. So keep that in mind. It does depend on your controller. I used to say, oh yeah, go on whatever dead zone you don't get stick drift, because obviously that's ideal. You get the snappiness on your controller, but keep in mind, you no longer get the aim assist snap to feature. So you're not going to be able to play on a high sensitivity and still be able to accurately hit your shots because there's not that snap to. So we do need to go down a little bit. And now look at this, like with the decreased dead zone and the decreased ADS, I feel like I can track so much better. And yeah, so like this is literally just hopping on and going on a horizontal target. There is one problem with this 9% though, and that is whenever you're like super close up, if you're like trying to catch up to the target, it's literally impossible. So like, let's say you start up like as it's going right here. You see that? Like, it messes with your SMG aim primarily. Your SMG aim is going to be extremely hard on just 9%. So this is where the boost comes into play. And I've done the most like minor boost you possibly can do. I do 2%. And for me, that has worked really well. So like, you see how I'm behind the target? I can catch back up to the target like fairly easy. So I'm behind, I can catch up. Obviously, you know, you guys can always hip fire into your ADS, but this is what works best for me. And so that's what I recommend for you guys. Toggle around with a lower ADS. You remember, I used to play on 14, so toggle with a lower ADS and then add a slight boost. I think anything over 5% on a boost is a little bit too much, and I'll show you guys why that is, because at 5%, like, you get almost almost too much of a boost, and you'll like boost over the target whenever you're rotating. However, a 2% boost caught me up to it. 5% goes over. So in my opinion, you should be anywhere from like 1% to like 3%, 4% on the boost. Nowhere over 5. I think that's a little bit too much, but here's my ADS right now, and I've been absolutely lasering for the first time since the new season using these ADS sensitivities right here. Okay, so now we have covered ADS, and we've also covered our move and our look dead zones. I do want to say one more thing. Look dampening time. I've had a lot of questions about look dampening time. I keep mine on 0.00 because it makes my linear building feel the best. But if you play on Expo, look dampening time is actually pretty decent if you're on console. I found it to be pretty decent on console. So if you want to try out, I would experiment anywhere, like start off at like 0.01 and then move your way up to where it still feels all right. But you want to try to have your look dampening as low as possible, but it does actually help a ton with ADS and just your aim in general, because it slows things down. It makes it to where you can do those micro adjustments. I have way better AR aim when I use look dampening. So if you play more of a style where you're using your AR over your shotgun, you should use look dampening because it actually does help a lot. And you could always start at like 0.10 look dampening and work your way down until your aim just keeps on getting better. It's a good trainer, but it's not good for somebody like me who plays 8 hours a day. So like I can train my aim without it. So if you don't have that much time to play, look dampening is pretty good. But I also want to make note, we got our ADS, we got look dampening, we got our look sticks and all of that. With our look sensitivity, I used to play on 44-44. However, one of the biggest things that was nerfed is hip fire aim assist from like this range. So I'm not talking right here. Aim assist right here still feels fine. Like, and every controller player knows that. Like if you're this close to somebody, you're still going to feel it pretty strong. However, it's at like this range. It's a tile to 2 to 3 tiles away that aim assist is nerfed the most. You don't get the sticky feeling you used to. If you used to hover over a target like this, it would stick you to it. So in my opinion, what has really helped me with hitting these shots was not only lowering my horizontal and vertical, because I only lowered 1% on my horizontal and vertical, but the change that I made to my dead zones of going up with my look stick from 6% to 8% helped me a ton. So increase your look stick just a tad, and it's going to make hitting those shots feel easier. It has for me. And then one more thing, guys. All of this, like lowering your horizontal and all that, raising your dead zones, it's going to throw off your building and your editing a little bit. And I made a massive jump up to 2.2 on the build and the edit sensitivities. Now, I know that's huge. I wouldn't recommend going up that much for a lot of people. I only went up that much because I've been playing so much Fortnite that I can like get used to this quicker. And that's what's really helped me. But you're definitely going to want to go, like if you were at 1.7, let's say you were on my old sensitivity, I would start by going up 1. I would go up 0.1, and if you can handle that, then go up another 0.1 until it feels like it's either too lit. Like if you feel like you're not moving around quick enough, up it a little bit. If it feels like it's too fast and you're messing up your edits because of that, then lower it or keep it the same. That's what I recommend for you guys. And these are my new settings. These are the settings that I've absolutely been slaying with and playing probably the best Fortnite I've ever played before. I've been doing some more competitive Fortnite and stuff like that. So I know you guys are only interested in the final settings, so here they are. But I just wanted to let you guys know like how I got at these settings and arrived to them. So one thing I would say that is the most important of this entire video is the ADS. Make sure I don't know how people are hitting shots at like 12 and 0 boost and stuff like that. I just don't get it. Like for me, 9% has been perfect for hitting those longer range shots. And let me show you guys that really quickly. So from longer range, like 9%, I still feel like I get that. I can control this almost completely, which everybody who plays on controller knows that like past 100 meters or like, past 100 meters, it's a lot harder to hit shots on controller than it is on mouse and keyboard. So this 9% gives you that ability to really control this, and that's why I love it the most. So guys, I hope you found this video helpful. I just wanted to go through this stuff quick. I know you guys don't want to hear a super long explanation of controller settings, so hope this makes sense. And if you have any questions, let me know, and hopefully I can help you get them sorted out, because I do think look dampening is a good thing for a decent amount of players. It's just not good for the top level players. So if you're more lower level, you should probably use look dampening, in my opinion, especially if you're on linear. And if you're on exponential, you can up your sensitivity even more. And maybe the ADS is a little bit easier on exponential, but these are the best linear settings that I've been able to find since the nerfs came into the game. If you found this video at all helpful, remember that subscribing to the channel, using code rodeybros, all that stuff helps me out. And also, I've been starting up some new video series on the channel that aren't just all about guides. So if you don't mind checking those out, that would mean a lot. But either way, I'll see you all in the next video.